For the Interrobang, I'm Alex Allan. Alongside me is beautiful Mr. Konstantinos, as per usual. And welcome to this episode on the Red Couch Podcast. In this episode, we're actually welcomed by 106.9 reporter that's working there for the summer, Manjot Singh. Hello, hello.
Hi, Alex. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm good.
Well, we're bringing Manjot on today because Manjot is an international student from India. And over the past week or so, we've been notified about the recent flooding that's been happening over in the northern part of India. This is due to some of the heavy rainfall, and a lot of the flooding that's been going on there has been actually sweeping away the houses, and I think it's been killing dozens there as well from the severe weather. And I think New Delhi actually even marked its wettest day in July in 40 years with 6 inches of rain falling. That was according to the World Meteorological Organization, which I can't believe what's going on. And Manjot, you actually have family over there right now.
Yeah.
And you've been trying to keep in touch with them of what's been going on.
So the area where my family lives is the most affected area in my own whole city. So they were without electricity, they were without water, they were without any communication with anyone for at least 1 week. So when even I was not able to contact them directly because internet services were shut down. So I had to call my uncle that lived in away from them, but then he went to my family and checked with them. So luckily they are safe now.
Oh,
yeah.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that they are doing safe. And whereabouts is it exactly that they are living?
So I live in Patiala city of Punjab province, and my house is in outskirts of the city, but also it is nearby the river. So whenever flood happens, the first area to get affected is mine. So we are literally 500 meters away from the river. So the river overflowed and it destroyed the whole area. And my family lives on the upper unit. So they were actually safe, but the lower unit is completely damaged.
So are they still living at home then?
Yeah, they are still at home. Now, electricity have been restarted, but the water is not as good, not drinkable right now. So they have to purchase water bottles from outside. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And how was it just a quick phone call that you were able to make over to them?
Yeah. In the beginning, it was for 3-4 days, I wasn't able to connect to them directly. I was contacting them indirectly, but now that internet services are back, I'm able to do a little video call with them. Yeah, and conditions are bad. But now, they were going good, but yesterday it rained again, a pretty bad rain. So the sewage is blocked, and it will require some time to get back to normal.
Wow.
And right now, as well, as of July 19th, they said that the floodwaters have reached the walls of the Taj Mahal, and they've also brought in crocodiles, the waters, into residential areas, and over 68,000 acres of farmland has been lost due to the floods. And in Punjab as well, I heard that there has been over 36 casualties or something like that.
Yeah, and Punjab is mostly dependent on agriculture, and this was the season of planting, so everybody was done with the planting their crops, but now they have been damaged and damaged badly, so they'll have to remove them and plant them pretty again. That will be not only expensive, but will be also time consuming because we don't know when will be conditions back to normal. So I live with my cousin sister at my home. They have 50 acres of field, and almost everything is gone from there.
I mean, officials from where I was reading, they said that this was the most highest flood levels they've seen in 45 years.
Yeah, the last time something like this happened in my city was in 1993, and so it's exactly 30 years from there to now, and the conditions were pretty same in 1993 and 2023, and we were not prepared for it.
What was your parents' reaction to seeing
Yeah,
all this?
they were like, my mother was sick, but like we tried to, as we have like our house is a little higher on a higher altitude, so we tried to help our neighbors and like whatever we can do to help others, along with also keeping ourselves safe. So they were hard couple of weeks, but now everything is going back.
Yeah, it must be quite tough because yeah, when something happens like that, oh my gosh, you gotta have to think of everyone that's around you as
Yeah,
well.
because like there was a kid who used to live like 2 houses away from us, and the kid died because some insect bite him in the water, and he died a couple of days ago. It was pretty hard, so we were just thinking what precautions can we take and until everything gets normal again, because it will surely take time, because like our neighbors furniture is all gone, their electrical appliances all gone, they were literally floating in water. So it will take some time and a lot of money to recover. The government says they will help to the extent they can, but it's India and it's hard to expect anything from government.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It really is. My gosh, I can't believe something like this could actually happen.
And let me tell you a story. My city is cursed. That's what they say. They say like in 17th or 18th century, Baba Ala Singh was the first ruler of our city. He built a fort, but he didn't know the land was cursed. So he built the whole city around it, and the land was cursed that the city will destroy with water. So what they have to do is the only royal family, the royal like the king and queen of, mostly the queen of our city, has to give a nut and chuda. That means a nose pin and a bangle to the river so that the river doesn't overflow. The last time they had to do it was in 1993 floods, when they gave like they threw the nut and chuda on the in the river, and now they have to do it again. They had to do it. They did it last week, where they gave nut and chuda just to pray to God that please stop this flood. It's a ritual, and I don't know whether it's true or not, but they do it when we have something like this.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's still great though to like for people to actually have something to hold on to
Yeah.
in this sort of rough time.
Yeah.
To say like, hey, like even these beliefs, like
Yeah.
it could
They
actually
they
help.
just give people some hope that maybe the water levels get down.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, being that you are far away from home, Manjot, how are you feeling about what's been going on right now?
I'm feeling pretty bad because like last year I was there, and there were a couple of years in between where the chances of flooding were really close, but nothing happened. But this year it happened, and it was pretty bad. I'm feeling bad about everyone. Like I can imagine my friends used to live like in other colony, and their colony is completely destroyed. Our area is destroyed. Some areas are safe in my city, but then you think about all the old people, all the people who had children, and they are suffering without any. And the thing that I liked about my culture is when something like this happened, everybody gets together. They'll try their best to help each other. So there were people who were giving foods. They were using boats to distribute foods to homes. They were trying to make everyone as safe as they can. But ultimately, it's nature, and nobody can know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, a sense of community comes together and they band
Yeah.
together to help each other out, which is a good feeling. It helps alleviate some of the pain that you can go through when,
Yeah.
either a natural disaster or any type of harsh situation comes in life.
Yeah.
That's good that, everyone's there for each other.
Yeah, and that's the Punjabi community that I'm proud of. That we are there to help each other,
Yes.
no matter what race you belong, whatever you are. We are there.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, helping out is such a crucial piece for all of us right now, and even all the viewers and other people that are looking just to support. What could be some ways right now that they could help to support in these times?
I think if you are from northern part of India, you just call your family and just talk to them, because it's the most important thing you can do right now. I don't think they'll need anything right now, but just try to talk and give them hope because they'll be happy. At least my parents were happy when I talk to them because they are in a problem. They may not show it to you, but they are. So just talk to them and make them assured that you are there to help in just in case they want anything.
Yeah. Just being there. Seems like that's the biggest piece
Yeah.
for all this, especially just from even just how hard times that they're going through right now.
Yeah.
It's a big thing. But I mean, we did bring you on this podcast
Yeah.
because we do want to actually bring some enlightening side to India. Because when we actually went back, when we were first thinking about this
Yeah.
podcast, we were actually talking about some of the traditional foods
Yeah.
that India actually has to offer. So we're going to get into that whole side now, just
Yeah, sure.
bringing up some of the foods. And I think you actually brought a little bit of food.
Yeah, I have. And they are like homemade sweets. So my friend's mother came yesterday from India and she bought like all these sweets. I can't wait to taste them.
You want to try right now?
Yeah.
All right.
What are these?
These are called pedas and she made it with love and
Try it.
I just hope.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're good.
Oh my gosh.
Very sweet.
That's India, man. Sweets are meant to be sweet.
Right. What would you say your favorite traditional Indian dish would have to be? Well, there's so many to choose from what I've seen. So what's your
Yeah.
favorite?
Traditional one. It's hard to choose one. But if I have to choose one, I'll say bangan ka bharta. That's a dish made from brinjal or eggplant, as some people say. It's the best thing I have tasted, and it's kind of makes you feel royal
Oh, yeah?
because there are so many spices, so much flavor in that. It's just awesome.
Was it something that your mom probably made for you and I think you have a brother, right? Like, is that something she made for you, growing up?
Yeah, she did. Like when you are a child, you just don't want to eat vegetables, right?
Yeah.
You hate I was the same until I tasted that. The first time I tasted that, I was like 8 or 9, and then I was suddenly in love with that. And my mother used to cook it like every 10 days for me now, and she cooks it to perfection.
I gotta say, yeah, I love Indian cuisine. I remember a couple years ago, I went to a friend's house, and for his birthday, his mother made an entire Indian spread with like different foods and whatnot. And I was so deep into just eating what I had on my plate that I forgot about who was around me. I was just so enamored with the flavors, just such rich food and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, and it's awesome
Yeah.
fact that Portuguese, Spanish, and British came to India just to buy our spices. Can make you imagine how good Indian food is. Like you can have some Indian food here, but ultimately the quality is not like that we have back there. It's just amazing.
No, it's a different feel when it's actually from the country
Yeah,
it originates from, opposed to like
Yeah.
people who bring it over here.
everything will be fresh there. They'll be using traditional techniques to cook there, which we cannot use here. And then you will have the smoky texture, the taste. It's just awesome.
Right, and then you mentioned spices as well as that. It's like from farm to table. You have the spices that probably were like a day ago in the fields, right? People
Yeah.
picked them and then brought it to
Yeah.
the restaurant to where it was added. Kind of
Yeah.
like in Greece, like fish is out there swimming, and then the next day it's on a plate.
Yeah, it's
Right.
the same.
Yeah,
It's like most of the spices we actually make them at our home using a crusher. So they're all fresh, tasty, and
But hey, I mean, going back to mother's cooking though, you can't go wrong
No, you
with mother's cooking, and they always make
No.
the best food.
like I tried to cook it here, but ultimately I failed because I don't have the equipment that is required to cook it here.
Yeah,
it's different. Yeah, it's different mentality. I know. Yeah.
but hey, your mom would love to actually see that you're trying,
Yeah.
showing that you can cook it yourself.
Yeah, I cook some meals pretty good, but then some I just suck at cooking.
Mhm.
I just can't.
I get that. It's you know what? It's hard. It's like every time I cook, I just keep on thinking like it's high school chemistry. You gotta add all the ingredients together to work.
Yeah, you
It's a
have
pain.
to you have to follow how you have to first chop the vegetables, then you have to boil or whatever you're making, you have to sort them, They're like, and then you have to fry them again. Then you have to mix the mixture that you make. It's a lengthy, but like I sometimes make a joke about it that Indian cooking is funny because you cook for 3 hours just to finish eating in 10 minutes, and then you have to clean dishes for 1 hour more. And you're like giving 4 hours of your life
I
just
know.
to eat for 10 minutes, but that's funny.
Yeah, but
And that's what we love.
yeah, I know. And, also kind of reflecting back on the conversation that Alex we had, which was the entire, like, I guess, like the precursor to what made this idea for the podcast is, all three of us, we come from different, backgrounds that have unique dishes and whatnot, right? Alex, you come from a Scottish background and I'm Greek. What are some like peculiar dishes that you have in India that might seem like, oh, like some people would be like, oh, wow, that's an interesting combination of flavors or just even, you know, stuff like
So
that.
I would say Indian dishes will mostly be spicy.
Mm.
And as India is not like that much meat eating country, we have a lot of option in vegetables or vegetarian. I think you will find the dish of saag with makki di roti an interesting combination because it's purely vegan.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, and it takes 6 hours to cook it.
Oh my God.
And then you'll eat them with the chapati that will be made from corn flour.
Oh yeah, corn.
Not corn flour exactly, but something like that. And then you'll spread some butter on it with the glass of lassi.
Oh,
It's a crazy combination.
yeah.
And it's mostly made in my province, so I just love eating them. It's crazy and it's a seasonal vegetable, so we just get to eat it 6 months in a year. But whenever you can eat it, just you'll love it. I
Yeah.
know.
Greece itself has a very vast cuisine. Like, obviously, it does contain feta, as everyone might assume, but there's also olive oil and different meats and whatnot. But the most peculiar dish I ever came across was the soup that we usually have around Easter time called mayaritsa. And at first, when you look at it, it looks like a normal soup. But when you find out what's inside, it's crazy. They use the entirety of like a lamb that everyone eats, right? And it basically it's a soup that's comprised of the brains and like the intestines of a lamb. And I had it once when I was 12, and I've never had it since then because the taste and what I found out was inside just like totally turned me off. It was not my favorite, my favorite food that I have. But I'm like after this, I was like, I'll stick to souvlaki and gyro. There's nothing else. So I won't try something like that again. Yeah.
Jeez. Greek food just sounds interesting.
Yeah. And some other things too is that, like we've had people come over here from Greece as well, and they've adopted and tried to introduce the food to Canadians to try it and whatnot. And one thing that people don't know is that like Greek salad, when you order at a restaurant, comes with lettuce and stuff. It's not like that in Greece. The traditional version is called the chorietiki salata, which is just comprised of anything you can find in your garden, mainly being, like cucumbers, tomatoes, and all it is simply that just cut up, put together in a bowl with a little olive oil, oregano, and feta, and that's it. It's as simple as that. It's not actually with lettuce inside. So
What?
yeah, it's
I've been bamboozled.
oh yeah, everyone.
Yeah. So what about Scottish food?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
We'll get into the Scottish side. I mean, they have some very interesting traditions, but I'm going like back a little bit more on it. Like, of course, they still eat all this type of stuff, but it's kind of gotten a little different now because for some reason they like to deep fry everything now over there. They'll deep fry Mars bars. They'll deep fry everything. You can get like a whole platter of like just deep fried everything after like you're like probably out like drinking at the pub or whatever. There you can just get a whole like box full of just deep fried sausages, deep fried patties, deep fried, just deep fried everything. So yeah, I think that's why it makes sense why their lifespan there is only I think 50 plus years. So, but they do have other good food though. And
Yeah.
I think like the really big one that I thought was kind of cool to see is here in North America, if you go to like a baseball game or typically like a football game or any of those type of games that you're going to like a stadium, you'll get like a hot dog, right? Or just a nice little drink. But in Scotland, you can get Scotch pies. And Scotch pies are like this little handheld sort of miniature pie that you can get, and it's just a bunch of minced meat in it. And they'll heat it up and they'll hand it to you, and you can just sit there and eat away with it watching a football match.
It gets me curious because in India, popular sport there is
Cricket.
cricket.
Yeah.
What kind of foods would you typically see in the stands at a cricket game? Like, what do they have
So
there?
mostly they will have snacks and like bel puri, and there are like a lot of snacks, rice waffles, or to be honest, I never ate when I go to stadium.
No.
No, because I don't like that stuff. But then I can just give you an idea. They'll sell their own snacks.
Yeah. But speaking of like traditional Indian snacks and whatnot, what are some of your favorite snacks you can only find in India that you can't probably get here in Canada?
Well, Canada has a lot of Indian population, so I was surprised that how can I find it here.
Really?
Yeah, but they were here, and some of them I would say is bunga, marinda, and so marinda is like rice puffed, but they are stick together to make. You remember the snack that Gina brought in for Christmas?
Yeah.
We have a same kind of that in India, and it's a traditional snack. And then we just eat peanuts as a snack. We have special namkeens, like sometimes you'll see me eating them in the media center.
Yeah.
And like I think Indian food is more on the main course side than being on the snack side.
Right.
But then we have a lot of street food options. You cannot say them as a snack, but it's a different. They're called street food. They have like tikki, dahi pala. Now they, like a couple of years ago, a new thing came called champ. It's made of soya bean and it's flamed on an oven,
Oh wow.
and it's pretty good. It's just gained popularity like this. And then we have golgappes, like the crunchy balls where you put some water in them and eat. And there are a lot of street foods, I would say. I wouldn't call them snacks because sometimes they can be your main course, or sometimes they'll be just your appetizer.
Yeah, that's a lot. Even here, Canada, Greece, with Scotland as well, you'd say that you'd find a lot of street vendors selling all different types of food and whatnot. Like, what are some of your favorite snacks you can only find in Scotland? We kind of talked about this yesterday a little bit.
In Scotland, and it's really just crisps.
Oh, just like chips and stuff.
Yeah. They call it crisp there.
Oh.
Chips mean fries.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah, over there,
Yeah.
which kind of makes sense because it's a chip off a potato. But I mean, there is a couple interesting. I mean, Scottish. I feel like hearing both of you guys' backgrounds, you guys have such unique dishes comparison to Scotland now. Thinking about it, everything they just eat a bunch of meat. It's all just meat. But I do have two that I want you guys to guess a little bit because they're interesting and they're very misleading from the name.
Really?
So the first one I'm gonna get you guys to guess is black pudding.
Black pudding, like what? Isn't black pudding? I remember hearing about it. Isn't like it has to do with like, pardon the like pig's blood, something like that.
So close. It's up there with the interesting styles as haggis. Like haggis is in what is it? Is it? I think it's a sheep intestine, and then all of the food gets mixed into that, and then they'll tie it up, and then you're cooking it from that. But this one though, it is like a sausage sort of made form, but it's made with pork or beef blood.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and then they'll use pork fat as well, and then they'll sort of mince it all up, and then they'll use a type of cereal. Typically it's like oatmeal, and they'll mix it with it, and then you'll have it for like a breakfast.
That's interesting. You imagine mixing with cornflakes or Lucky Charms or something like that.
I don't know. I don't think they do that. I don't think that type of cereal.
That's funny.
That would be quite interesting. But yeah, I remember actually trying it when I was over there in Scotland. I'm like, oh, this is really good. And then they explained to me afterwards of what was in it. And I'm like, oh, so
Yeah.
it's just a bunch of pork and beef blood. Nice.
Yeah.
Tasty.
Like here in Canada, we don't have a lot of traditional snacks that like from Greece that are readily available. But like we are able to go to like these bakeries and they do sell like some stuff. And I remember I had what they call it's almost like a Greek coffee crisp. It's called socofretta. It was really good. But like after you finish it, you don't realize that's how good it is. You just don't realize you finish it in like 3 bites. It's really good. And then we also have oregano flavored like Lay's chips, which you only can get over there in Greece. You can't get them anywhere else.
Gotta try these.
Yeah.
Oregano.
For real.
Like in India, we don't have beef. Like in most of the Indian country, they don't have beef. So I was quite amazing seeing the McDonald's menu here
Oh yeah, it's different.
because can you imagine we have potato patties over there in McD
Yeah.
and they're good. I'm not gonna lie, they are good. But then I was like, they should have at least one of them here for their Indian customers, please.
I know. Just for you guys to try it.
Yeah, because we are used to that stuff because most of us are vegetarians and we are used to being that. I am not vegetarian,
Right.
so I eat everything, but most of us are. And sometimes I just feel Canada should have more options for vegans.
Yeah. But speaking that you did bring up that we are in Canada, what are some Canadian dishes that you might like yourself that you've seen or tried?
I haven't tried a lot. I tried a steak last week. I loved that. I don't know whether it's Canadian or no.
I mean, it's pretty like it's typically eaten here a lot of the time,
Yeah.
so I guess you could kind of classify it as that. But Alex had something for you to ask you.
For me, it's got to be the poutine. Have you tried the
Oh
poutine?
yeah, I love that.
You love it?
Yeah,
That's your
I
honest
actually
opinion?
liked it. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, and
Oh.
I am surprised. Like I should not like it, but I like it. I like the one that I make on my own restaurant. They have a like crazy gravy. The gravy tastes good, so the poutine tastes good.
So I always feel like it's mixed emotions in between for people with here in poutine. So I don't know.
I liked it, to be honest.
No.
I barely ate fries in India, and here it's with everything.
Yeah.
So I was so done with fries that I ordered poutine and I got a fries in it again.
Yeah,
But the gravy made it taste good.
that's the best part about it.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Constant poutine.
You know what? It depends. Yeah, sometimes. I think if it's like really like homemade cut fries, like yeah, I'll go for poutine. My dad usually makes because he's from Quebec, so
No.
yeah, why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's I think only almost Canadian traditional thing for food. If you want to state it, it's Canadian. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you, Manjot, for coming on.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. Thank you, Konstantinos.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you for listening to another episode on the Red Couch Podcast. I was your host, Alex Allan, alongside Konstantinos. And you can catch up with every episode on our website or wherever you get our podcast. And you can watch full episodes on our YouTube channel and subscribe to our newsletter and keep up with all things Fanshawe. For the Interrobang, I'm Alex Allan.
We'll see you next time.